Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah, Jumanji! Listen, man. In preparation for this movie, I just gotta throw this out there, man. I had to go and rewatch the original, which I
didn't.
Which I remember.
What year is this?
Yeah, man. Listen, which I remember somewhat. I don't remember all of it. So watching this, so it's like, as I watched the original, I was like, okay, I remember this part, I remember this part. Or that part, I don't remember, but that's cool. I was like, and I enjoyed it because I thought it wouldn't hold up. It won't be as fun as it was 20 years ago. But you know what? It is. It is kind of on the scary side, so it's not for like your 10 or 11-year-old.
When Rock announced that he was making a
remake,
well,
sequel, yeah, requel.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are like, well, why do you want to do that? Can you do that? How can you make a sequel that can stand up to not just Jumanji? Because a lot of people like Jumanji.
Yeah.
And then especially,
and for good reasons too. So.
Oh, exactly. And then especially with Robin Williams passing away, it's like no matter whenever you touch into something that he acted in, you get a certain backlash.
But when it comes to Robin Williams, you know, he's like we grew up on Robin Williams.
Oh yeah.
So when it comes to Jumanji, basically, like if it was the remake and somebody was playing his character in this movie, I don't think that would have been. Even if Rock could play a remake of his character, because his character isn't all that comedic or like anybody can play that character. Robin Williams didn't make that character special by any means. I mean, he did in a way, but especially after rewatching it, but I think anybody could have played that actor. So yeah, it's an old Robin Williams classic, and it definitely deserved a remake of some form or another. And I'm glad Rock took it up on him to do a remake to this movie. And listen, when it comes to Kevin Hart, like to me, I could care less about the guy. I don't like his movies all that much, but Kevin Hart and The Rock doing movies together, that's something else, okay? They work, they click. It's like watching Donnie Glover and Mel Gibson or Chris, what's his name? Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. You know, The Rock and Kevin Hart work so well, it's ridiculous. Because like you have
Woody and Blade.
Yeah, and so when it came to Jumanji, it was like, oh, we're gonna make this video game.
Well, the original one, the game came to life.
Yeah, and not only, it was a board game that it was actually alive, and it was basically, it was a living game. It was this fantasy thing that shouldn't exist, magical fantasy thing that shouldn't even exist in our world, but for some reason it does. And when you play it, anything that is inside of it, it will come out. It will come outside. It will, like the lion will come out of the game, or the game will pull you in. Monkeys will come, like really bad monkeys, and really bad, like big flies. Once they sting you, you're pretty much dead. Or if not dead, you will be close to death for days until the game is finished. And there was this hunter who was chasing Robin Williams' character for what seemed no apparent reason, and then when I rewatched the movie, there wasn't actually a reason he was chasing him either. It just seemed to be a game mechanic. And so with The Rock and Kevin Hart, listen, man,
still get the whole the game is alive aspect really nicely,
and not
because
only
the game goes from a board game to a cartridge.
Yeah, for those of you unfamiliar with video game consoles, basically a cartridge is like this piece that you stick into a console and you can play it. At least that was the Nintendo. But in this case, listen, the movie continues pretty much right after the original ends. And the original ends with the game being, you know, in a river and then on a sandy beach. And this movie begins with the game being on a sandy beach and some guy picking it up, taking it home and giving it to his son.
Yeah.
And so,
who dance,
and it's still year 1996, and
then the kid gets
like
sucked
the original
up into the game.
And we don't see him for 20 years. 20 years later, a new bunch of kids show up, and
they end up in detention where
they find this old game. Yeah, they
figure out, let's play, kill some time, get through detention.
Yeah, and unlike
only the game sucks them in.
Yeah, but unlike the original game, which was a board game. And once you start playing it, you have to finish it. Otherwise, like the chaos ensues. It's pretty much apocalypse, okay? And this way, once you start the game pulls you in, and so you have to finish it. Otherwise, you'll be lost for years and pretty much forever.
And here's the thing about this game: when the game sucks them in, because now it's a video game, they get avatars.
Exactly, because
And
these are a
that's-
bunch of like regular kids. You have
These are a
your-
bunch of teenagers. They're in high school, or
You have a jockey, a nerd, or a geek. You have your princess, and
your loner,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, pretty much.
And basically just.
And they're all
once they
played
get
by
sucked in the
unknown
game-
actors, at least to me.
Well,
I mean, maybe
the guy who played the nerd, we know him from. He did some other stuff, but doesn't really matter. They're just the aspect of the movie, basically. Whatever the centerpiece of the movie is the game itself, the avatars and who the avatars are.
And turns out the girl is played by Karen Gillan from Doctor Who and Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sure I've seen her somewhere else too. And she is well, one of the girls, right?
Yeah,
the
loner,
the nerdy
the
girl.
loner.
Yeah, the nerdy loner girl. And then the nerd in the gang, he's played by The Rock. So like The Rock is pretty much playing somebody who he isn't, like the character. So it's like this kid is suddenly in
The
The Rock.
jock is played by Kevin
Kevin
Hart, which adds a whole nother perspective, but nothing
And
really beats Jack Black, who's playing the queen.
Yeah, the
prom
teenage
queen.
girl. Yeah, the prom queen, man.
And that's where this movie really shows you how good it is.
Definitely, man.
Because these guys, they have to play somebody they're not. Jack Black has to play a girl,
the teenage girl.
teenage girl. Kevin Hart has to play a jock, which he's not. And Rock has to play a nerdy,
Skinny dude who's afraid of everything.
yeah,
Allergic
who has
to everything.
allergies to everything, and he's really not, he lacks confidence. He has none of it, like none.
And
And
that's
the
their
whole
whole
thing really, and Karen Gillian, her get-up raised a
Karen
lot
Gillan,
of...
that
a
was
lot
like,
of questions and raised eyebrows, but it all plays into the game. But even she is played by this by this loner who isn't really all that confident in himself. So you really see how acting
she's
wise,
playing more badass version of herself that is not afraid to interact with other people, so to speak. Like
Yeah.
she doesn't like being around other people and doing stuff with them, but she'll interact with them because she has to. Unlike her actual
yeah. she's just more badass.
Yeah, the avatar is badass. The actual
And the
girl
game,
is,
because now they're in the game, you get your wide range of the NPCs, but you also get 3 lives.
yeah, in the
And
game,
if you lose
yeah,
them,
you're pretty much dead. And yeah, when it comes to the video game mechanics actually, and how they play into the movie, there was a few things that I was disappointed with, just simply based on the video game aspect of the movie, because like certain, like, not even video games, like you have this NPC that they meet
Yeah.
right out of the gates. This ain't gonna be that much spoilerish, but
yeah, I know.
they meet this NPC, and for those who don't know, NPC pretty much means a non-player character. So it's a video game controlled character that is there to guide you through a game, help you with the game, just tell you like when you're
But you gotta ask them the right questions.
questions. And to me, his character was like, to me it didn't make sense to have that kind of a character there.
It actually did. I like the
No,
video.
I'll tell you what. Because that character was supposed to be he was on a mission to restore the jewel of Jumanji and whatnot. And then because he didn't succeed, he pretty much gave up and was just roaming the jungle. And then he got in and he put it upon himself to be in charge of calling for help these bunch of ragtag characters to help him out. And then when they show up, he isn't helping them at all. Like he pretty much leaves, goes on vacation somewhere, okay? Like if this was an actual game, he would be there with them the whole time. Okay, doing stuff, helping them out.
Not necessarily. He's the dude who sends you on the quest and then shows up and the
Yeah,
whole
but then
thing
you
is
make
over.
that character a little bit different, you know? You don't give him the background story that you give him. You do him a little bit different.
That's the thing. They gave him the background story, to set up the video game
Exactly,
portion
but his
of the
character,
movie.
like, but they could have done that with anybody else, you know.
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
could have done it differently. They did it this way, and I think if
they could have
panned
put
out
clues
okay.
or something. To me, like like go look for the map. They didn't necessarily have to look for the map when they had this dude who could have helped them out to find the missing piece.
You
Okay?
know, all those guys who complain when the book and the movie aren't the same thing, and when the comic
I'm
book
not
and the movie
dude,
aren't the same thing,
it's
and
not
when
the
the
same
video game and the video game and the movie aren't the same thing.
No, man. Listen, there is a way that video games are made that they're supposed to work. Putting characters in there.
This is a movie. It's not a video game.
I know, man, but it's still, if you want to portray a video game, it just doesn't make sense. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
It's a freaking movie. Don't look at it as
about a video game that doesn't
Like I
really
said,
exist. So
I
it's like,
just found out who he is. He's the guy who complains when the video game in the movie ain't the same as the video game in the video game.
but the video game doesn't exist. The video game is
Even
fictional.
worse. That means they can do whatever they want in the movie because it's the movie.
Exactly. I'm just saying, it's like, I think.
And you're
this
still
character-
complaining about it.
Dude, this character was totally useless, unnecessary, and shouldn't have been there at all. Okay, that's
You
all
can
I'm
say
saying.
that about half the characters in any movie, and they're still there.
Probably.
You ain't complaining then, but no, this is a video game.
Because-
it got to be like a video game.
If you're gonna showcase a video game, at least make a game look like. And it's like one of the things that bother me too is like Jumanji is in trouble. It used to be this wonderful place. Jumanji was never a wonderful place, okay? It was always scary as shit, okay? Like if you watch the original movie, like Jumanji is scary, okay? There's scary stuff.
Ovo je otišlo, ovo je
No,
otišlo
it
na
didn't.
sve
Dude,
osim.
it didn't go, man. Dude, this is the point I'm trying to make because that.
It doesn't matter to the whole general principle of the movie.
But
It
if you're
doesn't
making
matter.
a sequel, if you want to display Jumanji as this wonderful jungle where everybody lives in peace, I'm sorry, dude.
Dude, if we counting
That's
the
not it,
lies in every movie that happened.
Dude, I'm just trying to say there isn't consistency here as there should be. If you're doing this as a sequel and a remake in the same thing, basically like you can come and tell me that Jumanji used to be a nice place until some guy showed up and took a jewel out of it, okay? Because if he took that jewel,
Listen, in the 20 years, you know, since 1996 and 2016, maybe it became a nice place.
it is possible. I haven't thought
You
about it.
haven't been there for the 20 years. They don't give you the 20 years.
That's true. That's true.
Once the game goes back in itself in the Robin Williams original, you have no idea what happens to the Jumanji
agree,
until
yeah.
now, until they suck into the video game and the NPC
So you're
shows
basically
up.
saying that the Jumanji is not just a magical fantasy thing, it's actually a piece of another dimension
Could
that
be.
came to life in this
Exactly.
part. That works, man.
If the game
That
is
works.
alive, that's very...
That works for me, man. That works for me. Speaking of which, I'm gonna give...
I like to apologize on behalf of both of us because this video went way too long and we talked about nothing relevant. Well,
some
mostly
peop-
nothing
Well,
relevant.
some people out there don't know how video games are supposed to work. Maybe they learned something with this video. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Well, I have nothing. You know, this video, like I said, it went way too long and...
Well, if you made it this
know.
far, I'm gonna give it a rating. So it's like it was a really fun movie. The characters were well developed, well told, well acted. Like Jack
I
Black,
like the story.
Jack Black
story, I
playing
like
the
what
girl,
they did with the
teenage
story.
girl was hilarious. Okay,
Oh yeah, the actors, you know, so...
and him discovering a penis and how it, like figuring out how that thing works. It was hilarious, man. Okay, it was the funniest part of the movie.
Jack was, yeah, I like the Jack character.
And so
Especially
I'm-
when I found out he was a girl a couple of months ago. I was like, okay, now I'm really looking forward to see what Jack does in this movie.
And so I'm going to give it a rating of 25 out of 30. I think it's a fun movie, visuals are well made, the story holds up for the most part. As the few things I had with problems with, I'm
Yeah,
not going to
few,
speak about
just a few.
Dude, it's still things, but they were huge in a way, okay? So it's like, what's your rating?
And you had to kill 10 minutes to do that.
I don't think it was 10 minutes. Maybe like 10 seconds, but...
You know, 24, 25, I'd probably go the same as you. Like I said, the video game part of the movie, you really see how much effort actually went into this. The acting wise, the plot wise, I like the story. I was skeptical about the story because I didn't really know what they're gonna do with it, and see it on the big screen, seeing it come to life like that, I was impressed by the story.
Definitely.
Like I say, characters definitely stick up.
And in a way, they bring the whole story back together to the beginning, to the missing kid, and to the original movie as well.
And they give you the whole...
So if you've seen the original, you pretty much know how this movie is gonna end. So, yeah, we didn't stick around for the end post-credit scene. I don't know if there was any.
Yeah,
so,
probably not.
But the music was cool to listen to too. So it's like if you want to stick around.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah, do it.
It's a fun movie to watch. You can go and enjoy it. And watching jazz between Kevin and Rock is always a fun thing to do.
Oh, definitely, man, definitely.
And listen, it runs about 2 hours, but it's gonna fly by like this. You won't even notice
because you'll be having
it's
fun.
it's gonna be that much fun.
With my things about it on the side, it was still a pretty fun movie, and yeah,
pretty enjoyable, pretty amazing experience.
So
you can go and watch it. I don't know. I didn't even check what's coming out in January.
We'll see.
Yeah. Until next time.
Bash Bros up.
Yeah.